In northern England, there was a small town surrounded by misty hills. Its name was Blackwood. Just outside Blackwood was an old, abandoned cemetery, Ravenhill Cemetery. For years, no one had visited it. Its rusty iron gate creaked in the wind, and the old gravestones were covered in moss. The adults in the town always told their children, "Don't go to Ravenhill. It's not a place for the living." But the children were always curious about the forbidden. There were 4 friends living in the town: Daniel, Lucas, Oliver, and Ethan. Every day after school, they secretly went to Ravenhill Cemetery. The cemetery was their playground. They played hide-and-seek among the gravestones, climbed on the old statues, and shouted and laughed loudly. The wind howled as it passed between the gravestones, but the children didn't care. One grave, however, was different from the others. Made of black stone, the following name was written on it in faded letters: Edward Holloway, 189-21954. The area around the grave seemed darker, but the children didn't notice. Every day, they played ball, shouted, and made noise next to that grave. One day, the weather was colder than usual. A fog had settled over the cemetery. The children came to the cemetery again. They were playing ball. Lucas kicked the ball hard, and it rolled and hit Edward Holloway's grave. The ball stopped next to the grave. Daniel walked towards the grave to pick up the ball. Just as he was about to bend down and pick it up, he heard a sound behind him. A very deep, whispering sound. "Be quiet." Daniel flinched and turned around, but there was no one there. His friends were still laughing and shouting in the distance. Daniel looked at the grave for a few seconds. Then he shrugged and picked up the ball. "I guess it was the wind," he thought. But when he went home that evening, he had a strange unease inside him. Daniel had trouble falling asleep that night. As soon as he fell asleep, he had a dream. In his dream, he was in Ravenhill Cemetery, but the cemetery was very different. The sky was pitch black. Mist was creeping on the ground. Someone was walking slowly among the tombstones. A tall, pale-faced man. He was wearing an old coat. The man approached Daniel. His eyes were like darkness. Then he spoke. His voice seemed to come from beneath the earth. "This is a resting place." Daniel was speechless with fear. The man took another step closer. "Do not disturb us anymore," Daniel asked, trembling. "Who are you?" The man slowly turned his head. A tombstone was visible in the background. It read, "Edward Holloway." The man looked at Daniel again. "This is not a playground for the living." Suddenly, the man's face darkened. His eyes turned completely black, and the dream ended. Daniel woke up screaming. The next day, Daniel told his friends everything. "Last night, I saw the man in the graveyard." Lucas started laughing. "So you saw a ghost?" Oliver teased. Daniel's scared. Ethan laughed too. "Ghosts aren't real." Daniel spoke seriously. "He was real. He told us not to play in the graveyard." Lucas grabbed the ball. "Okay, to stop them. I'm serious. But his friends didn't listen. They left him outside the graveyard and went inside. Daniel didn't go into the graveyard that day, but the fear inside him was growing. That night, Daniel dreamed again. He was in the graveyard again. This time the fog was much thicker. The earth of a grave was slowly moving. The earth cracked, and a hand emerged from it. Then Edward Holloway slowly rose from the grave. His eyes looked directly at Daniel. "Tell them." Daniel recoiled in fear. "What should I tell them?" The man replied, "To leave this place alone." The man's voice was harsher this time. "If they come again, I'll see about them too." Suddenly, dozens of shadows appeared in the graveyard. Daniel screamed, and he woke up again. The next day, Daniel went back to his friends. This time he was very serious. "Listen to me. We have to stop playing there." Lucas laughed again, but Daniel continued. "The ghost is angry at us. If you go again, something bad will happen." Oliver paused for a moment. "Did you really see it?" Daniel nodded. "Yes." Just then, Ethan spoke. "Something strange happened there yesterday." The others turned to him. "What happened?" Ethan swallowed. "Someone was standing by the grave." Lucas frowned. "What kind of person?" Ethan whispered. "Tall, pale, and looking at us." Suddenly, everyone fell silent. Even Lucas wasn't laughing anymore. Daniel spoke slowly. "I told you." There was a long silence. Finally, Lucas took a deep breath. "Okay, maybe we shouldn't play there." Oliver nodded. "Yes," Ethan agreed. "We'll play somewhere else after that day." They decided not to go to Ravenhill Cemetery anymore. That night, Daniel dreamed again, but this time the cemetery seemed calm. There was no fog. The wind was blowing gently. Edward Holloway was standing beside his grave, but this time his face wasn't frightening. He looked at Daniel. "You listened to me." Daniel nodded silently. The man smiled slowly. "Thank you." Then he slowly walked toward his grave. He disappeared as if into the earth, and the cemetery fell silent again. Daniel never saw Edward Holloway again after that night. But every time he passed by Ravenhill Cemetery, as the wind passed between the tombstones, he heard a whisper, "Thank you."